Hey guys, this is John, updating you again from the Reykjavik Open. I played round 8 today. Quick disclaimer before I go on, this video might be coming out a little late. I'm back at my Airbnb and the internet is down, so I may have to upload this in the morning from the coffee shop. So yeah, it might be coming out, I don't know, 8-10 hours late. Okay, so round 8, I had the white pieces against a player from Spain, FIDE rating 1981. His name was Juan Luis Velez Romero. I was definitely looking to rebound today after that disappointing round 7 loss. And in particular, I was just focused on time management, playing quick, natural moves, trusting my first instinct for the most part, unless there was some reason to calculate further. Just trying to play a straightforward game and let him make the mistakes. And fortunately, that's exactly what happened. The game went almost completely according to plan. I played a simple system out of the opening. This is not one of the most critical lines I've ever played. But it avoided his main opening. He's a Benoni player. Normally I would go straight for the throat against the Benoni. I definitely like playing against that opening. But there was a bit of a mismatch as far as information. This is one thing you have to keep in mind when preparing for opponents. So he's lower rated, and when you're facing lower rated players, they usually don't have as many games in the database for you to prepare with compared to you. So I have something like 400 plus games that are public record that people can look up, and even more games if people really want to dig on my YouTube channel. So there's a lot of information out there about what I play. Whereas for him, I can only find like a handful of relevant games. I did see one game that he played against a compatriot of mine, International Master Kostya Kavutski, from earlier in this tournament, and that was a Benoni. And I think he handled the position okay, my opponent that is. So I was just hesitant to go into his main line when he has all this information about what I play against the Benoni, and I only had a vague idea of what he did. So that's why I chose this particular system. And I know I'm not naming that system just for the sake of protecting my opening prep a little bit. But suffice it to say, it's a straightforward line. It's not a critical line, but it's easy to play for white. So I played that system, got a nice position out of the opening. He was burning some clock. I ended up generating an initiative against his king that was risk-free for me. I didn't have to take any risks when it comes to sacrificing something or opening up my own king. It was just a straightforward attack. And by move 20, I had 52 minutes remaining, which is by far my best usage of time for this entire tournament. You know, as a benchmark, if you can have 45 minutes remaining of your starting 90, by move 20, that's pretty good. You know, ideally even a little bit more. So I was very happy having 52 minutes remaining and being ahead on the clock. My only real significant think of the game was a few moves later when I had to find a precise continuation to really drive home my advantage. So I invested some time then because it seemed like a critical moment. And my calculation paid off. I ended up sacrificing a rook. He didn't have to take it necessarily, but it was definitely the most principled way to play. So I sacrificed this rook, he took it, but I got a mating net against his king, involving rook, knight, and bishop, and also a very strong pawn on f6. And despite being up a clear rook and having the move, there was nothing for him to do. His king is just too trapped in. In fact, in the final position, I'm threatening this nice smothered mate that he can barely stop. He has to give up a lot of material. And even then, I think I can just play for checkmate. I actually don't even have to take his material. So he resigned. So very pleased with this game. It just hit all of my benchmarks as far as what I was looking to achieve in this kind of, you know, mini comeback game. I did look at my game yesterday a little bit more. I mentioned in my last video that I was going to take a closer look at it. And in looking at it and also replaying my own thoughts from the actual game, I'm still disappointed in how I handled it, but I don't think it was that bad of a gamble. I know yesterday I was kind of lamenting the fact that I took some big risks, but I was thinking if I had to do it over again, I would play a little more conservative on one particular move. But otherwise, I think a lot of times the risks would have paid off. Hindsight's always 20/20. I think I played riskier chess and had it paid off in the past. So yeah, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is I'm generally not too unhappy about what happened yesterday. Just one move, which wasn't even a tactical blunder necessarily. It was just a little bit too much. And she found some nice moves to punish it. Again, got to give her credit. So, you know, I was disappointed yesterday. I got some nice messages from you guys of support. Always appreciate that. But I think it's also important to stress that just because you have one bad game in a tournament, that shouldn't make you question yourself as a chess player. So as I said at the conclusion of yesterday's video, you know, I've had better days in chess. Whenever you lose, it always feels like the end of the world, at least for a little while, especially if you lose in some very uncomfortable way. But you got to have mental fortitude in this game. Only the strong survive in chess, and chess is just brutal psychologically. I mean, there's not too many other activities I can compare it to where you're just investing hours and hours of your time, and you may come up with a goose egg. You may come up with absolutely nothing. 0 on the tournament table. You may feel like you completely wasted your time. You may feel like your own intelligence is even in question. So you got to have that mental fortitude and realize that there will be other games. One game in the grand scheme of your chess career hardly matters. So while I appreciate all of the messages of support, just know, guys, I've been doing this for a long time. I would never like give up chess because of one bad game or get discouraged and just say, you know, screw it, I'm never playing another tournament again. Like, no. Okay, so how am I doing in the tournament? There's 1 round remaining. I have 5 points out of 8. I've had all decisive games so far. I had the black pieces tomorrow against a FIDE master from Germany, Gerald Lowe. I think he's rated a little over 2,200. So hopefully I can make something happen there. Now I'm going to use the same strategy as today. Just try to play a straightforward game and especially get the clock on my side. That worked really well today, and I see no reason why I can't work tomorrow. And I'll update you guys on the final round and how I finished in the tournament and also my next plans. I have another tournament coming up in a couple weeks in Charlotte, North Carolina. All right, guys, thanks as always for the support. Hope I can get this video up in a timely manner. And 1 more round to go. I'll update you tomorrow. Bye, guys.